Hello everyone and welcome. It's Shanna. So glad you're here today. Now we have got a fun die set we're going to be working with. This is a new release from Spellbinders. It is called Designer Purse and it is by Sherry Ballantyne. And Sherry has got several pieces in this release, some Spellbinders and some Hero Arts. This is the die. There are 11 cutting dies and they show 3 different styles of purses on the packaging, but you could actually probably come up with more than this just based upon using the different handles and stuff. And plus you could, do some embossing on these dies and make some fun patterns and all that. Just lots of really, really fun ideas here. Now I'm also showing the Hero Arts stamp set that is called Keep Calm. And it's got a lot of fun stamps that go with the purse and the luggage, the craft thing. And I'm also bringing in an old Spellbinders 3D embossing folder that I'm going to use. Here is the luggage stamp set. It's called Rolling Craft Rolling Craft Tote, excuse me. And the sentiments on that stamp set from Hero Art will pair nicely with that as well, because there's "This is how we roll," "Keep calm and craft on," "Crafting is cheaper than therapy," and so on. Just a bunch of really fun sentiments to go with both of these die sets from Spellbinders. So I have got my little tray and I have already got 2 of my purses die cut out. Here is the cutting guide that you can get on Spellbinders' site. Just roll through the pictures, find the cutting or the assembly guide, and right click it, and then you can print it out and you can have the assembly guides so that you'll know how to assemble your purses. So I've got everything here and I'm just going to get to assembling. We're going to assemble the black one first. I have got some black cardstock from Spellbinders, and I've got some alabaster cardstock, and we're going to use some of the treasured gold cardstock for the trim. This has got some nice deboss detail where you lay this top panel down on it, and so I was just kind of pointing it out to you. I'm going to get some glue laid down on here, and then we're going to get our black purse assembled. Now my daughter, this is my oldest daughter, her birthday is at the end of this week, and she is a collector of purses and she likes the expensive ones. She has got some cabinets in her closet where her purse is set and there is lighting on them to display them. So she is a collector of purses and loves to display them beautifully in her closet. So anyway, that is who this card's going to be made for. I had made another card earlier that I thought I was going to use for her, but this, when I got to this set, I'm like, this is her. So it was actually really fun putting this card together, because I was putting it with her in mind, and I, added specific details and just thought of, the colors and everything that I was going to add just specifically for her. Now for this one, for both of these that I'm going to put on the front of the card, I am going to use that like the long strap. A lot of times your purses come with 2 straps that you can take on and off. You can carry with a short strap or a long strap. And I'm going to use both the short strap and the long strap on both of these purses that are going to go on the front of the card. And so I'm just going to get this decorative piece laid down on there and try and get my handle lined up. And then we'll bring in our other little decorative piece. It's like a strap that would hang down over it, and then you would snap it closed or something on the front of it. And this has a decorative piece detail on it. It's got like an etched area where you're going to add another layer, and so I'm going to bring in some of the glitter gold treasured cardstock. I've die cut out the die with it, and there's 2 pieces. This one that I'm grabbing, and the other one that's right there nearby it, and that other one will go on my third purse that's going to go on the inside of my card. So I've got it laying there. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, this isn't right. I need to turn it around. The curved edge goes upward and the square edge goes downward. And you can tell if you look at your little die cut piece. And I fiddled with that for a good minute, so I just cut that part out, and I'm just going to show you how to get these laid down on there. So the open side of the hook kind of goes on the inside of the purse, and then you just get it positioned on there, and I'll put a little bit of glue on there, and we'll get both of these laid down on there, and we will have our little hooks on our little purse. I'm just putting the tiniest little bit of glue there and kind of pushing it with my tweezers to get it assembled. And there we go. So now we just need to get the other one on there, and then we'll have this purse assembled. So I've got my little decorative element on there. It looks super cute. Now we are going to do an alabaster purse, and it's going to be really pretty. And so I'm just going to get to assembling this, and I will tell you that I didn't put the front panel on this one, but I will go back later and put it on. And then you will see it later in the video with the panel. So I've got the handle strap that I'm going to put on here, and I am going to choose to use the long strap on this one again. I just thought they were super fun, and I wanted to use 2 different types of gold, and so I'm using the matte gold treasured cardstock from Spellbinders, and I'm going to get this laid down on here. And so we'll just position it. And I suppose you could create this purse without the front panel on it, and it could just have some debossed detail on there for interest, and that's how I start out with it. But then I will realize what I have done, and I will pull it off camera, and I will put the panel. That middle stitched panel, that's what I'm talking about. I don't add it here, but I will add it later. Now you certainly could choose to leave that panel off, but I am going to put it back on. The good news is I used foam squares to assemble this decorative element on the top, and so then that made it very easy for me to pull this piece off and then to put that other layer underneath it. Now I am dog sitting dogs, and every once in a while they keep coming in here and their claws are clicking on my floor. So if you hear a weird clicking sound in the background, that's what it is. I don't know. It's kind of a little bit stormy, not bad, but I don't know if they're like a little bit nervous about that, and so they just keep coming in here with me. Normally these dogs will just lay on some soft furniture and sleep the day away, but for some reason they keep prancing in here nervously, and I'm not sure why. So I'm going to get this the top of the purse, it's like the flap, laid down on here, and I used those foam squares, and I'm glad I did because I'm going to have to fix my little boo-boo. And I'm going to tuck my little strap kind of behind there. And then this one has a different kind of a closure. It's got a gold kind of a bracket there, and then you probably have another snap closure or something like that. And we're going to get it laid down on there. And I really like this gold, alabaster, and black combination. I think it really pairs well together. And I don't know if I've done a card with these color schemes yet, and I really like it, so I'm thinking I'll probably do something again. Now I'm bringing in that stamp set, and I'm going to use Life is Short by the Purse, and this is perfect for my daughter, and so that's what I'm going to choose to use. We're going to bring in some of the alabaster cardstock, and we're going to get this stamped up, and we'll use some embossing powder. So I'm bringing in my little black mini Misty, just getting my purses out of the way. And then we're going to use some more of that alabaster cardstock. I'm going to get it laid down on here. It's too big, and I'm just going to grab some scissors and just chop it down so that I can get it to fit in this mini. And then we will use some Versamark watermark stamp pad. I've got a mini, and I'll bring that in, and we will stamp this up. I'm looking for my magnet, and I'm like, it feels like it's on the bottom of it. And sure enough, it was. I don't know about you guys, but my magnets sometimes get away from me. You never know what they're going to be stuck on. So here I'm going to grab Life is Short, and it's kind of a, I don't know what the term is, almost like a block type. And then we're going to have a scripty by the Purse. So we're going to have Life is Short by the Purse, and that is going to be the sentiment on the front of this card. So I'll just try to get them lined up here carefully, and then we'll just stamp them up with a Versamark ink, and then we'll bring in some Gold Crown embossing powder from Love from Lizzie. I love that gold color, and I think it'll work out okay with this gold that we have on here. And we'll just get it stamped up. So I'm just trying to get it positioned in the corner, and I'm going to grab my ink pad, and we'll get it stamped up. And I did bring in that Love from Lizzie Gold Crown embossing powder. I actually have 2 of those containers. I think I ordered one from her, and then one came in one of my kits. So I'm putting plenty. This is a brand new stamp set, so I'm putting plenty of ink on there, and I'm getting it stamped down on there. And I'm just going to do it once. I think I got enough ink on there. It'll be fine. And then we're going to bring in some paper, and we're just going to get some embossing powder laid down on this. And I'll just sprinkle some on there. I didn't use the anti-static powder tool. I wish that I had, but I got in a hurry and I didn't. So I'll have to work pretty hard at cleaning it up. So we'll get this ready to go and then we'll heat emboss it. So I cleaned up all that mess. I got out my heat tool and I heat embossed this, and I've got a gold Life is Short by the Purse Sentiment, and we're going to use this on our card, and I think it'll look really nice. So we just need to get it cut down. So I'm going to bring in my trimmer and we're going to trim this down. I'll trim it down a little bit and then I'll wind up using a die. Actually, I trimmed this and then I'll use a die for a background piece for it, and we'll layer this up on it. I'm just going to turn it and kind of cut it down. I should have put them further apart, and then I could have used something to die cut them both out separately, but I kind of like how this works because I'm going to lay this alabaster on a black panel and it'll work out nice. So I went off camera, found a little die cut out black, then I tried to trim this alabaster down to where it would fit inside there. We're just going to layer it up and we're going to have our black and our alabaster. Again, we're just kind of repeating the color scheme that we've got on all of our elements of this card. So we've got a nice little frame around there. I think it looks nice. And this is going to work for this sentiment for the outside of our card. So I'm going to bring in my card elements, and we are going to do a 5x7 because I want to get both of these purses on the front of this card and just showcase them both. So I have got this, I've got an alabaster card base, a black panel, a gold panel, and then I've got a 3D embossed panel for my top layer. And I will link all of the materials in the description box below so that you can check them out and shop with them if you want. And I'm just going to line this black one up, and we're just going to layer all these panels up and just bring those colors all back in, just kind of reinforcing the same color scheme. And I think it's going to look lovely. And then I've got the gold, and this is kind of the, I don't know, muted. What is this? Let me look. I've got the treasured cardstock. This is the matte metallic cardstock that I'm using on this. And I'm going to get it laid down on there and just give it a good press. And the ruffling in the background was I was picking up the treasured cardstock to see what the type of cardstock that was. We'll get some glue down here on this panel. And I thought this panel kind of looked like some of those expensive designer bag patterns. And so that's why I chose to use this 3D embossing panel on here. And I'm going to get plenty of glue on there and I'm going to get it laid down. Now I have got it in a horizontal or a portrait direction, and I'm actually going to do landscape. I'll figure it out as we move along that I'm not going to be able to get all this to fit on here. We'll turn it landscape and we will build our card. Because I've got that alabaster card panel there, I know that I want my black purse to kind of be kind of in the background, and then I'm going to kind of layer my alabaster purse kind of a little slightly on top of it, just on the edge of it, and then we're going to bring in our sentiment for it, and we're just going to get all this laid down on here. Now we do have an embossed panel that we're laying it on, so I'm going to just get some glue on here and we'll get it laid down. Hopefully it'll stick, and then we'll just get all of our bits and pieces on there. I think this is a really fun set. I'm going to be working with the rolling craft tote as well. That's another fun set that kind of goes along with this stamp set that Sherry Valentine created. For the craft cart, you've got buy the craft supplies, and crafting is cheaper than therapy, and just some really, really fun sentiments that we can use for it. So it'll probably be my next video or one upcoming soon, but it is a super fun set. We also have the die set, we all have baggage. That's another one that we can use that I think will be fun and upcoming. So I'm going to get this sentiment laid down on here, and I'm just trying to position my purse how I want it. I'm wanting it to kind of cover up that gold strap on that black one because I had a little die cutting error there, and because I went forward and backward, and it cut it a little bit thin. I don't know if you noticed it, but I'm going to position this purse to cover it up. No one will ever know, and if they do, it's only because they've watched the video. So I am going to put the sentiment on there. We're just going to bring in some more foam squares, and we will get them laid down on there, and then we can put our sentiment on here, and then we're going to decorate the inside of the card. So I'll get some foam squares laid down on there. We'll get the backer pieces removed, and then we will get the sentiment laid down on there, and we'll be good to go. And I like it. I like that I've just used the same colors over and over and over again. And then next we just need to add some embellishments to our card. So I'm going to grab, I've got some black gems from Spellbinders. I've got my little Spellbinders crafty tool. I'm wiping off the glue. I'm going to bring in some of these little tiny black embellishments and just lay them down on my sentiment. We're going to lay 3 down here on it, and then we're going to lay 2 more in the upper left-hand corner and just add some extra black shine to it. I'm fussing with this one, trying to get it laid down right where I want it, and it just keeps rolling over. So I'll fuss with it and get it laid down on there, and then we'll bring a couple more in and put it in the upper left. And I'm just going to kind of position them in the middle of the decorative squares there. Give them a push, and then we're ready to start working on the inside of our card. I think outside looks very nice. So I decided to bring in this is an old die set. It's got a happy birthday. It's a old glimmer plate, and it has a happy birthday strip sentiment, and I'm going to just glimmer these, and we'll have a whole bunch of sentiments, and I'll get one added to my card. And I'm going to kind of show you the process where I get it laid down on here. You do pretty side to pretty side, add your black panel, get your shims on there, get that thing turned on and heat it up. I'm going to let it heat up, and then we're going to come back in and we're just going to die cut this out. So I'm going to get my glimmer out of the way, bring in my Platinum 6, and we'll just roll this through there, and then we'll do the big reveal and see how it turned out. Laying it off to the side there. And it actually foiled beautifully. I don't think I had any overfoiling at all, and it was good and crisp. So maybe on the top of the panel there might have been a little bit of gold, but around the sentiment sometimes you'll get some overfoiling on it, and I did not. And so I'm just going to take this die that goes with it, and we'll put some tape on there. We'll get this die cut out, and we'll have a sentiment. So I'm back from my die cutting machine. I've got to get that tape off there so I get that happy birthday one released. It's on the top. And then there are several others that I will have in my stash that I can use as I need. I actually need a bunch of happy birthday sentiments die cut out. I just need to find, all of my happy birthday sentiments and just get them ready, because I need to add them to some cards. So I've got a fish-tailed strip. I grabbed the wrong one, had to grab the other one. And we're going to add it to the inside of our card, and we're just going to have a black and gold happy birthday glimmered, or I guess we're calling it foiled these days, sentiment, but that actually was a glimmer plate. It's an old one. One of the very first ones I ever had. When I very first started making cards, I had that glimmer plate. So I'm just going to press it, and it looks kind of lonely on here because we've got a 5x7 card base. But I am going to bring in a third purse and add it to the inside of this, and I'll show you that here in a minute. Now here I've zoomed in a little bit further. I've got the third style of purse that I have die cut out, so that I've represented all the styles. And you'll see I'm just putting glue around the edges here because I am going to make an area for, I'm going to show you a gift card, but I think we'll probably stick some cash in there. But you can see I've just glued the edges, and so I can just slide that down in there, or some money or whatever, and I've got a finished card that has got the 3 purses on there. I think it's super fun, super cute. I know she's going to love it. So I hope you like it. Here's a picture so that you can take a look at it. If you like, consider hitting the like button, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. Here's a couple more videos for you to watch.